finding out who's in front of you in the class, because I think in ESOL, every class is so different and so diverse, so to find out who's in front of you is essential first and foremost. And that feeds then into everything you're going to do further on from there. I think after that, I'd say that, making your materials meaningful is hugely important, I think, and relevant to the lives of the learner. I think a lot of the stuff we find in the EFL books maybe are a little bit irrelevant to ESOL learners in Ireland. So henceforth, you're going to have to spend a bit of time designing your own materials. So when I say meaningful, it's making it that it's relevant to their lives living in Ireland here and now. Things around, I suppose, social welfare, things around dealing with the landlord, reading a bill, reading a receipt, social media, all these kind of things that are relevant in everyday lives. So meaningful to their lives. What I'd say as well within ESOL, I think imagery is hugely important, the use of images. And I think, you can't underestimate how powerful an image can be, especially recognisable images. Things like we see around us in everyday life, from packaging to labels, to signs, to notices, to icons, social media icons, things like that are relevant to their lives again, and also that we can recognise very easily. And images are so great for using as a springboard. I think we can use images then for discussion, and then they can feed into what you're going to do later on in your language and literacy. Also as well, I think when you're designing your materials, I think how many words you put on a page is important. How long a sentence is. If it's a class of literacy learners, perhaps a sentence should never go more than a line. Not continue on to the next line. Also, I'd always intersperse a page of text with images again, because it breaks it up, it puts flesh upon the words, so I think that's really important as well, and your layout, your design of your materials. Yeah, I think it's really important when you're designing your materials that the tutor considers using a text. When you extract vocabulary from a text, there's so much you can do with that vocabulary again. You can obviously use it for pronunciation activities. You can use it again to correspond with images, and I think there's a variety of techniques you can use to expand that vocabulary, using word maps, correlating different words to that vocabulary. I think things around rhyming words again, syllable activities, using blends. So a variety of activities around that vocabulary to engage the literacy learner and to really expand upon that vocabulary. I think what's key as well with a text is that you can correlate it yourself to have a grammatical theme running through it, whereby, post-text you can then extract that grammar and expand upon it again. And that's where I think where EFL materials can come in really handy. I think you can use those as backup materials to support your grammatical themes within your text that you've designed yourself. And subsequently again, I think, you can also, unpack the text a little bit by using a variety of activities around key sentences or phrases within a text. I think things like taking a sentence, jumbling up the words, and the learner has to rearrange the words to make the sentence, or cutting the sentence in two, and the learner must connect the sentence once again. Things like that, I think, or even simple WH questions to check in with the learner with understanding, and then expanding, I suppose, using the text then again to expand upon the theme that you're engaging with. So I think there's so much you can do with a text, but I think going back to our original point about how you design the text is key, especially with the learners in front of you in mind, how many words you use, the font, the layout, the images, all of that is so relevant when thinking about the text that you have in front of you.